Hello everyone, welcome. I'm curious about what beliefs you currently have about non-duality. It may be things like there is no one, separate self is an illusion, everything is consciousness, everything is empty. Reality is an illusion. I am a separate self. Reality actually is dualistic. Non-duality is wrong. All this stuff is just philosophical bullshit. And just get them up into your mind. What thoughts about your beliefs in spirituality, awakening, non-duality. Awakening, I'm close to awakening, I'm far away from awakening. One day I will wake up fully, I'm partially awake. And the mind just spins these words constantly. From one belief to the next. And even after we have awakening experiences, or even we have kind of call them shifts, the mind still will come in with a layer of identity. Like one I can notice, particularly in radical non-duality, is like the no me belief. Like, oh, there's no me, there's no one, there's no this, there's no that. And it's like, that's just as much as a belief as there is a me. And I understand why they do it, because it can actually be a sort of good, profound pointing. But if we take that pointing and then land on it as a ground, I think it can lead to being a bit maybe nihilistic or slightly dissociative from the human experience. Because there's a fixation there with not being anyone. And I feel that the non-duality or spirituality, it points to the kind of it's neither. You are not, I would say you're not a separate self, but you're not, saying that there is no one here is still a landing. There seems to be, at the moment, all about landings. Where are you landing? Where is your attention? Not where is your attention, but where's the identity? The identity is always in the landing. And it's kind of, as I guess this process has been unfolding for me, it's been like a process of just like, the more I don't know. It's kind of like there's no way reality is. There's no landing. Because every time I landed somewhere, there would be suffering eventually. It would feel good. I'd be like, oh wow, there's no one here, or everything is empty, and there, it felt good, and then eventually tension would arise, because now my mind had created this, it's like imprinted this state, or this place to be in, this place to abide in, some understanding, some knowing, but that's subtly claimed. And it's like the identity seems to get subtler and subtler as this process unfolds. But yeah, I don't like to be too radical, because I don't know, it's not fun. It's not fun always being like, there is no this, no that, no one, no story, no thing. I like to kind of yeah, it's like, it's as simple as, who are you if you can't refer to thought? And if that lands, the mind won't be able to produce a response. There will just be a silence there. And that's kind of all you need. That is, anything else, any movement away is just thought game. Is the going back into the world of thought and philosophy. And from that place, that's where things can unfold, like things and shifts unfold from. This process seems to ever be refining. There seems to be a constant refinement going on. But almost like two things at once, because at the same time, not really. Reality is completely whole and complete. But relatively, there seems to be deepening and unfolding. And I think I've heard all sort of teachers, from radical to, of course, progressive paths, say that. But if you're waiting for when things fully refine, when things fully clear up, then I'll be at peace. You're back in seeking. And it's like, I guess what I'm noticing a lot is we can get fixated on the radical nature of it. On there is no me, there is no one, there's nothing to do. And that's a landing, and it can be restrictive. I know a lot of the teachers don't mean it that way, but I think some people start to fear any sort of self-development, any form of improving oneself, or even doing and it's no, everything is it. That the unnameable, that the in between, the who am I if I can't refer to thought, it's kind of points to everything, this moment, whatever is right in this moment. So it's full freedom to do what you feel is right. There may be a calling to therapy, but it may be happening from a different place. And it seems to be always this balance of the middle way. This balance of not overcorrecting, not leaning too much of an extreme, not being too stuck on a progressive unfolding, never, I'm close to awakening, or it hasn't fully embodied itself yet, all those stories. And then at the same time, not leaning too far to there is no one, there is nothing. Because they're both, when you hear them, both thoughts, they're both landings. It's reality's more dynamic than that. Reality's more alive and free than being just one just kind of always reaching, and one just not engaging or with reality, or because there is no one here. Because it's awakening, it breaks through the layer of thought, of thinking. We stop looking at life through the lens of thought, and it's kind of we fully experience. It's we have a more embodied experience of this moment, because we're not constantly looking at it, through the lens of thought. And when we stop looking through thought, all the burdens of thought, all those beliefs in individuality, in a world, in all your problems, they're seen as they don't have the power they once did. So reality is it's a massive weight off your shoulders. But there's still the appearance. And the appearance maybe is non-dualistic now. You can see there's no separation. There's no individuals. There seems to be something really sweet that starts to arise. Call it the indescribable, the unborn. That which can't be catched or landed on. And something sweet starts to arise. But at the same time, nothing changes, right? There still seems to be the human form and other humans, right? I don't treat reality, I don't treat people, like they don't exist. Or like myself, like I don't exist. I'm still very human. And I think most teachers are, I feel like, unless someone's just been like up in the mountains meditating constantly, I think trying to act like you've transcended your humanity is a little bit insincere. I think this impression just gets created through the videos. For sure, and through just the history of spirituality and teaches this kind of idea of we transcend reality. We float above it. We're not affected by it. But I read this post by Jeff Foster, and he said he met most of the kind of the teachers of today, and said they were just very, very human. A lot of them get triggered, had a lot of issues in their lives, and probably know more than the next person, and that can be disappointing if you had expectations of that awakening was going to turn you into some transcendent, perfect being. But at the same time, it can be sobering. Like, I'm definitely, no pillar of transcendence or whatnot. There seems to be an okayness here with a lot. I would say a big difference when you stop looking at life through purely the lens of thought. There's a freedom, a peace, but also human nature is human nature. Still worry about my looks sometimes. I worry about my future. Things like money. All relationships. I still love human interaction, connection. I don't know if I would be happy if I went off into a mountain and had no one there. I mean, I don't know. Thing is, I don't know. But I would probably just be leaning very deeply towards the sort of transcendent aspect of reality, because it is an aspect, but it's unskillful in everyday life to be like that. But I think people have this idea of relationship, of awakening being like this kind of magic bullet that solves all their problems. And I think it can be that way if we're honest with ourselves. If our expectations are we gonna just float through life with no thoughts and never be affected by anything, it's just probably not gonna happen. But what it does give you is a deep fundamental sense of okayness. It's more like whatever is alright. It's more like, it's not like you start showing up perfectly, but whatever is arising is like you're deeply okay with it. Or the mind's super busy, you know, maybe you're like, oh, my mind's so busy and I can't, you know, something's wrong, blah, blah, like the mind, you know, I'm not feeling good. Whereas when you see it's all story, it's like, okay, there's busyness arising. It's just another appearance, as is everything else. Yeah, it's more like we don't need this moment to be anything other than it is. And for me personally, that's what this path has been about. And that's where a lot of the suffering was coming from. Wanting life to be different, wanting to be more awake, wanting the mind to be quiet, wanting to transcend. But when you don't need this moment to be anything other than it is, what's the need for transcendence? What's the need to move away? It's kind of seeing that this is everything that's looked for is right here in this. I don't need to move away. I don't need to move towards. Already as it is. What's this moment without it needing to be more? What's this moment without any concepts or ideas I think about or what it should look like? And it's a sweeter type of freedom than what we think awakening is going to give us. As I said, this kind of, because we all start, I started reading you read the scriptures and you hear about these sort of saints and they sound so cool and transcendent and it's just the mind creates this sort of image, right? And we listen to awakening stories and they sound so deep and profound. And it's good in a way because it gets you it starts the whole seeking process and it gets you very hell-bent on finding, on waking up. If you read a story about a guy who's like, yeah, I just realized that all my problems were deeply okay, you'd be like, fuck that, I want to solve them. I don't want to be okay with them. So maybe that's its purpose. But then after that, it's more of a sobering up. And it's, it could be said it's better than some ultimate transcendence. Because it's just, reality is constantly changing. There's constantly new flavors. Even perceived ones that could be called negative, with resistance, anxiety. But if we really look at them, if we really look at resistance and anxiety, are they actually problems? Because the mind's so quick, oh, anxiety, get away. But it's like, stop and look at it. What actually is anxiety without the label? What is resistance without the label of it? All these, I don't know. The mind is so quick to judge. I was with a client the other day and we were looking really closely at resistance. Because I would ask the question, who are you if you can't refer to thought? And they'd be like, I can experience it, but there's all this resistance. And it was like, let's look at resistance. What is it? What is it? And it was kind of just seen as it's just energy moving and then something saying no to it. It's like, what if we drop that whole story? It's just energy. It's free. It's like things flare up that we push away. hell, maybe it's a really good feeling, resistance, but the mind, so quick, we're so quick to push reality away, so quick to say no to reality. We're constantly just saying no, 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 out of almost, fear, and we want to land, we have some ideal view of reality. Because when there's landings, there's expectations. When everything's consciousness, reality should look like this for me. Everything is awareness. And these things can be said right about the moment. Because sometimes they can lead people to experiences, but the concepts have to be thrown away as soon as they're seen. It's like, take the medicine. You don't have to keep taking the medicine. It's just the mind. It always wants to land somewhere. When you're watching a non-duality video, you're trying to land is the whole problem. The mind wants to jot something down and take it home with it and be like, this is how reality is. But there is no way things are. Can you find anything other than this? And that can sometimes be disappointing, because the mind wants some big giant spiritual cookie, some final experience, some final shift. But it's more like you just surrender to the fact that this is it. And that can be disappointing until that you let go of the idea that this moment needs to be more. Then it doesn't matter. Then this is just freedom. Freedom of reality needing to be any other way. Freedom of needing to be in any state. And that's a much nicer way to move through life. And even any landings your mind has created through this video, what's this moment without them? What's this moment without any concepts, any thoughts, stories, ideas? I'm close to awakening. I'm far away from awakening. Even stories like, this is it. What's the moment without that story? There is no me. Drop that. There is a me. Drop that. Oh, it sounds so easy, but it's not. It's hard. My mind keeps doing this. Drop that. And notice the quietness of not referring to thought. And that's all you need. That's it. Anything outside of that silence is you trying to hold onto a thought, a belief system. What's this moment without it needing to be more? And just keep noticing the silence, the stillness. Noticing that it's futile to try grab onto something, some idea. It just creates this tension. It's almost like the mind is always jumping onto these like landing pads which keep falling away, and then it jumps into the next one to the next one, the next idea. Then that kind of falls away. It's like, nothing sticks. It's like, stop jumping from idea to idea. Free this moment of your ideas, of it. Drop that whole paradigm of truth and awakening, and because awakening's a pointer, but it's not. It's just a bunch of letters put together. It's not actually real. It's just a reference, seeing that reality is always has been fully itself, fully fulfilled. You don't need to add anything to it. Reality was always awake. Can this moment be more or less awake? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.